Hey everybody, what's up? This is Chad Warren. It's Friday, March 24th, 2023, 11:19 a.m. Welcome to chad-warren.com. This is the blog post, Take the 90-Day Power Pops Challenge, you see behind my image. And please check this out. What I've done here is I'm not just advertising my Power Pops, but I'm showing you all the things that I'm using to take advantage of the fact. It's like my birthday is March 20th, so I always get more jazzed up this time of year, so I naturally fit into the whole spring cleaning type of vibe. And so some of the things I've gotten to help me with that are this towel, 1 gallon motivational bottle with the different times of day. This is actually not accurate. I didn't fill it up this morning, so I tell you the truth. That's why it's a good review. It's like the reality. You watch a ton of reviews on YouTube, and it's these young people, and they're just pure corporate perfection. But this is reality. So it's hard to drink a gallon a day, and just that bottle helps. And then speaking of tools that help, check out this link here to learn more about the Power Pops and get the month's supply, like that bag I showed you. They taste wonderful. I don't even care what flavor I pull out of there. It tells you on the stick which ones they are. But you can go buy those there, and you can learn more about the company at the second link. And then I've got this Facebook group where I have created sorry, I just noticed what it was saying there. I've created a 90-day Power Pops Challenge group where we can keep track of our fitness goals together. And just, how would I say? Okay, so the way that Asante Organics as a company is valuable to me, right? And what I am trying to share with you in the companies that I show you and the products that I recommend is that what excites me is where art and science meet in terms of engineering and marketing. Meaning the gallon bottle with the reminders to track your water consumption. So that's a way that it doesn't take a genius to come up with that idea, but it takes a human to buy that product and hold it in your hand and to use it and to experience, oh, this is cool because it's harder than I thought to drink this gallon of water, but by having the bottle, it makes it easier. So there's a lot of intellectual capital, and we all need to seize it, especially in this era of social media, of target marketing, and just like there's a big line being drawn, and if you're stupid, you get an F and you die because you're consuming poisons and you don't care. So a lot of this is about being demoralized is we're all under tremendous amounts of stress. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just showing you this is not about me trying to push some product onto you, but I do want to share with you this product because it's how I got into Asante Organics. It's just buying a bag of these from Corey Neese, real nice guy that is my mentor in this company, and you can check him out on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description. And so yeah, people, this whole era of the YouTube economy, where I think that's a good example of like, I think it's smarter to have a YouTube channel and do reviews for products that you buy than to miss out on the value of that, or to complain about corporations and technology taking over, because it's like, that's true regardless. What are you doing about it or with it or whatever? So that's how I deal with all of this, that like, yeah, life is this mind control game, and they're roping us into these things like tracking everything that we do. But you have to meet them in the middle, neutrally, and go, well, it is valuable just to keep a diary, whether it's in a book or in my mind or in this phone. You see what I'm saying? You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So that's really a big part of my whole philosophy that I want to share with you and get your feedback with about cooperating. I think that the next revolution that we should be concerned with as individuals worldwide is not what app is going to come out like Uber or Amazon or something like that, but how can we capitalize on the open source, voluntary cooperative use of these ad hoc networking tools? So, if we develop these tribes locally and worldwide and we work on our fitness, then I think starting with any of these points, you could start with your shared interest in pinball games. I just saw a new Pulp Fiction pinball game that is just as amazing as that movie was. And, it'd be cool to figure out how to meet up together with people and play pinball games, like over at the Vortex Arcade over on Keel Avenue in Sherwood. $10, play all day, awesome. So there you go. The future is for those who cooperate to make it happen, because what I want to talk with you about, heck, I'm going to go ahead and incorporate two things here. I'm going to promote this blog post, and then I am going to show you what current events are catching my attention and why you should care, and how I want your feedback. All right, so let's look over the rest of this post before we move on as an example of how we can work together and create win-win solutions. So this links to the Facebook group, and then that shows you how I used Google Maps to find. I bought this activity tracker. Let me turn it on here. Right there. You hit it again. You get all these choices. It's really pretty cool. I've never had one. Is $50 at Walmart. I have a link to that later here in the post. But I love using Google Maps because it, again, is this good blend between the individual and the AI god that's running the planet. And it's meaning that I do like to submit information to Google Maps based on the places I visit, because I want to be like a concierge and connect people with these awesome resources, all of us. Just tourism doesn't have to mean like you're going to Hawaii. It could mean like get out of the house, get physically fit, go volunteer, go to a live event, go buy a record. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to organize. This is a video of a 19-minute walk. You can check that out that I made there at this Henson Park. I just looked up a park near me on Google Maps when I was at that Sherwood Walmart Supercenter. So there's amazing things you can find using these tools. Because I really believe, in a kind of a Gnostic point of view, I would say like you're playing darts, but being Christ-centered to me is more than the Bible or something. It's that you are constantly trying to figure out what is true, what is the direction you need to be going. Are you planted firmly with your feet on the ground? Are you relaxed? Are you thinking clearly? Now, look at the target, throw. How far off of the target are you? Reassess, plan, do, and review. That's my philosophy, okay? So then I link up with the Google Maps. You can look at all the awesome places I review like this and share some with me if you wish. I've made a public list of places for fitness. They have tennis there, so I'm going to be doing that later. What kind of activities would you like to do for fitness and fun? Here's the info on the fitness tracker. This, is nice in that in the Google Fit app, and websites. I've actually found this. I don't trust the medical community of as farther than I could throw it because it's controlled by gangsters. But they push drugs on us and just crazy. But this I did find to be very helpful from the American Heart Association about how this does help you get. They basically give you what they call heart points, so that's something that's valuable to track, kind of more so it maybe than steps, and so you can learn about what is a good heart rate, heart targets, and all that kind of stuff there, because this does track your heart rate. And then this is Google Fit, and it's showing you how it tracks this stuff. This is free. I think you can do a lot of this just with your own entries without having tech to track it. And then I think maybe, I don't know how much that your phone has a step tracker. I'm not sure, but I think it might and stuff like that. So that's worth checking out. They have workouts here. I'm also using a Nike couple of apps there. Well, what Nike Running Club and then Nike Fitness Club, maybe. I did one of the exercises over there, and it was logged in this Google Fit info, that workout. And then this is Chronometer, which I did one day a couple days ago, trying it out, and I like it. But I knew it's a little bit harder to work this into my daily schedule, but it's not really that hard as it looks. Meaning that, I was able to go to Chipotle, and I was like, how do you put that in here? And so what it is it is set up well, meaning that, like, I ordered an enchilada with steak, and then I did it through the app, and so you're picking these things. So have each of those items, the salsa, the sour cream, got all that portions already figured out, so you could just, voice search for that, or you can scan the UPC codes, which I'm about to do with this. Right? So it's got a code on it, and so I can just scan all that in there. So that was pretty cool. And, it made me feel good of like, okay, this is what I'm naturally doing, and it seems to be within the zone here. And then I'll put more stuff here that, like, I love just basic blogging stuff of like, man, I'm not really typically into this stuff, so just asking all these questions of like, what should your target heart rate be? Well, between 60 and 100. It's good to learn all that. And so what was I looking up on YouTube the other day? Oh, I was looking up like natural ways to lower your blood pressure and heart rate. And so that was cool with the chronometer. And that's how I was like, oh, okay. So you get choline from fish, so I had some salmon and some sardines, and then I'm also taking these fiber capsules, like generic, probably from Walgreens, but you can get them anywhere, and 5 of them 4 times a day for heart health. That's really nice. And then, of course, the exercising, I'm seeing, this is drastically improving the heart rates day by day here. Feeling more rested, more positive, and all that kind of jazz. So I'm really enjoying this. So I'm honestly wanting you to take part in this with me and see if this helps us be happier and build a cooperative community. All right. And then let's go to a video that I saw today that I wanted to comment on. Now, where are we? We're at band.video. This is Alex Jones and all that. So, just to understand, my perspective is that a deep state of Freemasons who are like George Washington was knowledgeable of. He was a Mason, uh, but he was knowledgeable of this Bavarian Illuminati. And then, like, basically, I think America was taken over, if it ever was independent, very early on. And the Masons is basically like this British monarchy taking over through spycraft and Freemasonry is also like a lay version of Kabbalah Judaism. So that gets you into this crazy stuff about why Israel and Donald Trump and all these, they're all, DeSantis is Jesuit, and the Jesuits are for the same goal. So you got British Zionism, the way that world affairs are, that they have control of religions, all of them, and all of the left-wing social movements and stuff like that. So that's all I'm trying to say is that don't just assume I like everything that's on Infowars.com. But the whole point of whether it's facing your personal fitness and how, should I share this information, this kind of things, there's a real need for freedom of speech. So we got to detangle. The only way to deal with life is to just face that, there's a lot of messy stuff. You may want to eat a hot dog and not know what's in the hot dog, or you may trust in government but not want to know everything about it. But we all can help each other face the things that we need to face, because we're all really in the same boat. So we should decrease the pressure of polarization of everybody against each other, and we should help each other out and rush to proactively deal with these things. And specifically, I would encourage you, I'll leave the link in the description here, but to check out this video. You see High Cap military operator joins Mike Adams in studio with urgent warning. So even if all of this is some kind of Freemasonic, Luciferian within the U.S. government, here's the thing. They have a guy on this channel, Jay Dyer, who shows you just the other day, let's look at Freemasonry. Let's look at these actual academically accepted books that talk about all this stuff a long time ago. And just, there's all this information, and it causes a lot of confusion. But simplistically, it's this whole British monarchy taking back over type of thing that we, none of us want to be a part of. That's why originally there was an anti-Masonic party, in the early times, that we're all going back to the whole 1776 Civil War. That's all coming back. World War I and II. That's all coming back. You know what I mean? We're in that time. And so what I'm basically wanting you to consider is that we are now on a war footing. I know that you've heard about all this stuff before I'm talking about it, but I'm just realizing myself, as somebody that does pay attention to this stuff every day, it's like, man, we really do have to start proactively figuring out what we think is right or wrong about these issues, and meet with each other and our representatives or whatever locally as we can to deal with it. And one of the topic is the border between Mexico and the United States. And this, like you said, I was saying, even if this is total propaganda, right? What we're seeing is Mike Adams talking to this guy who is, you don't see him, but you hear him and you see his dark silhouette. And he's saying, I work in the military, and I'm telling you, my intelligence info is saying that Middle Eastern terrorists, literal Taliban members, as well as Asian, fighting age men, are moving across that border more so than families and stuff like that. So this is not any kind of a white people thing, or really even just an American thing. I'm literally saying that, what business do you have using social media? And ignoring the fact that what we need to do is person by person work together proactively to address these issues? If you are internationally based, then what are you doing to stop human trafficking? What are you doing to deal with the fact that our phones are powered by lithium batteries? And what does that do to the environment in Africa? There's fields that gleam gold in the reflection of the sunlight off of these pools of toxic chemicals that are hurting the land. They are hurting the people, not just of Africa, but this affects the whole world. And now we're talking about choke points in supply lines, right? So you don't, they're talking in this video, the threat to the Second Amendment is not legislation. The threat is, well, if we attack these places where they smelt metals, like Mike is referring to that he knows of in South America, then you can't, the whole production ceases. So everything is shifting back to this medieval siege tactic. Like, you better have your water, you better have access to this, that, and the other. So we better realize that we're at war. And that's the way this new war works. It's like voluntary, and you're not volunteering or signing a contract to work for some bank or military thing. You're signing up, like, are you going to represent your duty to Mother Nature and Father God and yourself and each other, to represent, just to be who you are and defend yourself? Me doing this video is the same thing as having a gun on me in terms of what we need to be doing. That's what we're talking about. And everybody can have their own opinion, but like, I suggest that we consider, what can you do to support the meritocracy, true diversified original goal of America, which is that out of e pluribus unum, out of many one, right? You have to create unity. It has to be based on truth, and it has to consider everybody involved, ethics and all that kind of stuff. So as it's obvious that our government is taking over, and that's what this video highlights that I want you to check out, is that it's basically coming to terms with the fact of, like, look, if this what the government is doing in terms of saying that the environment is why we have to stop there being natural gas available in California and all throughout everywhere, and all this, really, it's an attack on it's economic warfare. So we all need to figure out the answers to these questions. Do we pull our money out of the banks? How do we deal with crypto? And on that note, this bug is trying to get in here. I want to direct you to my solution in terms of dealing with the fact that we have to gain access to the source of our food, our water, and our money. Okay? So the way that I do that is that I pay $39 a month. Okay? And you can do this at even less than that. And you can do it just by buying one coin, which I'll show you the products individually. But I'll just show you, since it's up here, what you get with that. You get 10% that I save. And what I do is I stack silver. So if you have a savings account to protect your money, okay, this is the real way to do that. Is that you get like 1 ounce of a silver at 20-something bucks or whatever amount that you feel comfortable with monthly putting aside, and you're going to save 10% if you get this membership for $40 a month, and then you're going to get 15% off of what you buy in the shop. And then, if you don't want to do anything through the internet, get a hold of me about whatever, and I can, deal the metals to you directly. I can buy it and sell you from my stock. But this is also what you can do on your own. There's a retail, wholesale, and this is the resell or affiliate version of that. You can store your metals with them for 30% off. You feed one child a month. Feeding starving children in Africa, no joke. A very highly trusted charity. You can check that out. Receive cash back rewards. Precious metals training and tools, open vault seller access, 100% shop buyback guarantee. They will buy this stuff back at what they sold it to you at, no risk. Special birthday gift and a free 1/10 silver round a month. Okay, well, let's go look at the actual items in the store. I'm out here in the Washita National Forest at a campsite, so my internet is slower than normal, but it will be loading. All right. So we see prices today. Gold is at $1,983.90, down $8.50. And we'll look at silver when it rolls around while we wait for these images to load. Silver is at $23.14, up 6 cents. And, of course, with the banks failing, as I've been showing you forever, but right on time with the info that I'm getting, that May probably is when the government will introduce the central bank digital currencies, which is the Moloch, or to a layperson, they're the Satanists that are all about control, right? So if you go with the government, they're going to track everything you do and say, oh, you've eaten too much food, you've driven around too much, you can't go further than 15 minutes from your house, and all this crazy-ass Nazi stuff. This is just the revolution thing. It comes and it goes. They're going to push us as far as they can push us, and people like me are going to say, oh, hell no, you're not doing that to me and my family. And you're either a slave or you're an abolitionist, so figure it out. But you can look at best-selling items, bullion, collectibles, wearable wealth, coin supplies, safes, merch, and so much more. This is, if the image will ever come up, a 2021 South Africa 1 Rand, 1 ounce silver Krugerrand. And there's all a first strike, so these are collectible. You get into coins. You've got two things you can do. The bullion is just the value of the metal, because you can take I'll show you about these gold backs that are like gold on plastic, but you could go to a jeweler and take a 1 ounce of bullion, whether it's silver or one of these smaller, gold amounts like on the gold backs, and they can melt it down and make jewelry with it, and vice versa. But then you have numismatic, where it's like comic books, like it's like coins and they're collectible and there's a known amount of them, and so that is valuable and fun to do too. There's all kinds of different. Oh, here we go. Finally, so let's look at this one here. And that, another cool thing that I like that I saw here is that if you store your items in their vault, and when you get into precious metals, you'll figure out, you want to have some that you can access directly, but it's also good, in this example, you can store items and then sell them. They handle all that for you out of their vaults. So I might have to cut this short since it's raining harder here, but let me just finish up by showing you the difference in price. So for the retail price at $71, I'm at that middle tier at 80. And then if you pay the pro price, which is paying annually instead of monthly, you get it at 65. So that's what we're talking about the lowest prices on gold and silver online and locally through Mint Builder that you should check out. And we will get this out of the way. Oh, that's annoying. Huh. Damn. Well, alright. So you get that deer there. It's pretty cool. There's just so many tons of cool ones. Let's go back. And oh yeah, I was digging this one. I think it was. Let me look here. Or that might have been a different one. There was another South Korean one that looked really cool I saw last week, but that was somebody's personal collection. Yeah, this is different. Man, how do I get this out of the way? It's frustrating. Oh, okay. Here we go. Oops, sorry. That's weird. Oh, maybe if I tap on it again? No? I don't know. I did it some other way. You can zoom in, but this is not working. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, the question I was going to ask you, and just to sum this up, and so in general, I'm looking for cooperation. I'm looking for feedback. I'm looking for people that can pay attention and take action and work together instead of just passively watch our lives go to crap. You know, are you living? Are you dying? Or what? I'm looking for people that are ready to take action and go on adventure and turn negatives into positives by being proactive. So, what do you think we should do about this border situation in terms of dealing with the fact that literal terrorists are moving across the border into America? You know, how do we protect ourselves individually and one-on-one, to prepare for this Civil War, World War III type of environment is part of our, you got to get a haircut, you got to go mow the yard, you got to eat right, you got to prepare for these kind of changes and deal with them directly. And then that's the current events deal. And then I showed you Mint Builder. So there's going to be links in the description to check that out. Number one, just check out the videos. It's very short. It's like 12 minutes. And it'll show you everything you need to know about how easy it is to start taking control of your finances today by stacking silver for as cheap as like 30, 40 bucks a month or even less. You can just buy individual, those 1/10 ounce silver coins, and you're going to want, money that you can spend like coins like you do today in small denominations when you're trading, whatever you're trading, and using gold and silver to preserve your work. Those are like 20-something bucks a piece. If an ounce of silver is 20-something bucks, so there's no excuse. I don't have enough money. Just get them for the fun of it. God, kids will love it when they have this stuff in their hand. I mean, and that's another thing is, as we're all forced to consider cryptocurrencies and the central bank digital currencies and what we're going to do about that, that's what I love, is that not only by having the physical coins in your hand, you get a better connection with God's money. That's God's money, gold and silver, God's money. And the cryptocurrency also has value because we use technology. That is Luciferian money is what it is, but you want that better than you want the Molochian money, which are these monopoly green US dollars that are worth nothing, and the people that made that system are breaking it and moving on. So the Luciferians are more knowledgeable about the technology than the control aspect of money from the past. And that's where you get things like the Ripple coin, which is like where the Molochian central bank digital currency meets with the Luciferian crypto system. You see, because the Ripple coin is how the banks transfer money. So there is this transfer of power that we're all a part of in this story.